Welcome. I'm Ed. I'm your host of Freecircle-Fireside, where you will get truth with integrity, insight that's right, and we love people helping people. So let's get into it today. Enjoy the discussion. Let's roll with it. Welcome to the show. It is a beautiful Sunday morning, end of September here in the Klamath Basin. We're going to talk a little bit about standing up for yourself. Yeah, we need to learn how to do that. But before we get into it, I want to ask that you go over to my website. It's freecircle.website. Up at the top there's a link that you can copy and paste into your web browser. It'll take you to a little survey. The survey is to help us identify what you, our audience, want from us. It relates how you think we're doing, and we want to improve. We want your opinion, your input. I want to thank PodTrack for providing the service. PodTrack gives you a great way to track your hits on your podcast. If you are a podcaster and you are not using PodTrack, you need it. Alright, so let's get into what we are going to discuss today. A lot of people in the world are scared. It's a scary world, so it's easy to get scared. A lot of people are elderly, a lot of people are handicapped, and a lot of people just don't have the brass to stand up for themselves. We want to help you address that. We need everybody to be able to say no. And if you have somebody that is bullying you right now, you need to call somebody. It doesn't matter if you think you are being bullied. You need to address the issue. It is not healthy. And it's not conducive to a good relationship. So you do have to stand up to this. If you need help, reach out to somebody. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes our loved ones are the ones hurting us or bullying us. And sometimes we just need to take the first step and talk to them about it. If they're violent to you, definitely get help with the issue. Do not risk your life because you love somebody. See, this is not good for you. And in this world, a lot of people try to take advantage of you. And as you get older in life, or there's many circumstances that make you vulnerable, you've got to understand there are people there to help you. It's hard to call the authorities on somebody that you love. That's one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. But maybe it's the best thing you can do, because in the world today, you never know what's going on. Are they on those drugs that make you go wacko? I'm not talking about that marijuana. I'm talking about those drugs that make you go wacko. Chemical compounds. And there's illegal and there's legal. A drug is a drug, no matter what label it has. Herb or pharmaceutical. If they alter your being in any way, it is a drug, my friend, and you have to be careful. If you do not know, is it really worth just trying it to go along, to be cool? See, that matters, because when you cannot stand up for yourself and say no, you can get into things that you never thought you could get yourself into. I've lived that life. I know, my friends. These things are bad. If you cannot say no or stand up for yourself, number one, find somebody that can help you stand up for yourself. You got to surround yourself with the right people. So it's not always good to ask for help, but if you are being bullied and there is no way out, maybe it's the only way to ask for help. I know how hard it is when there's family and they are asserting their dominance over you. It's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling. And there are people that will help. These things that are pushed on you are not good for you in the long run. Make sure you get control for yourself. Make sure you can understand life only happens if you make it happen. Surround yourself with good people. Make sure you understand there are people that will step up for you and help you. You know, it's not always wise to bring friends into the matter either, because that can make things boil over and turn in a way that we don't like. It can get violent. People, when you say no to them, some of them take offense and they want to get stupid. So sometimes you have to have somebody there. You know, contact your police department and ask them what their policy with civil assist is. They'll tell you about their civil assist program. A lot of people don't know this. In different areas, they use the civil assist in different ways. But call, find out what it's about, and make sure that that service might be able to help you. You know, so you want to call them. Ask the dispatch person, do you have a civil assist program, and can I get information on it? It's that easy. You know, you got to be able to talk. I don't talk well at times, but you have to learn to communicate, and you have to be able to ask for help if you need help. That's important. So these bully tactics that people use come in many forms, and sometimes they'll make you feel that it's for your best. And it's odd how people that are closest to you sometimes can use those trigger points in your mental state to control the situation. And we have to be able to identify that. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, there are people. If you have trouble identifying, reach out to somebody. It's always better than going through it alone. Find your pastor. Find somebody that will hold this in confidence without being a gossiper. Nowadays, a lot of people gossip, especially community leaders that should not be gossiping, taking your confidential information and letting the world have at it. It's a sad world, so it's time to learn to say no. It's important. Sometimes saying no is the hardest thing that you can ever do. But it is the best thing for you. Learn to control yourself. Don't get mad about the situations, because that's what a lot of people like to do. They like to get you mad, and then that clouds your judgment. So while you are dealing with any circumstance, always maintain that anger. That's hard to do, but I'm telling you, they use that against you. So these bully tactics and ways to control and sway the conversation or the situation, these people that do it, they do it well because they always do it. Learn to identify it. I'm not saying be a paranoid citizen, but understand you've got to be aware. If you're not sure, just don't do. Ask questions. Don't be violated. Violations come in many ways. So we have to clean it up within ourselves, and then our community around us will start to slowly clean up. Do it within yourself first, and then start spreading out, talking. There are people that will listen to you. There are people that will help you. Make sure it's the right ones. Sometimes those around us are not the right ones. Even though it's the hardest thing in your life, sometimes you have to reach out of the box. And then you can be pulled outside of the box, and you can see inside what kind of garbage you were dealing with. That's important. So standing up for yourself is the most important thing that you can do. If you can't do that, find the right people to surround yourself with that will and are able to stand up for you in the proper way. I don't know your situation, my friends, but I know there's many situations, and they all can feel very heavy. So, we have a call-in line. It'll be mentioned at the end of the show. If you'd like to reach out to us, freecircle.mel is our website. But learn to stand up for yourself. Once again, I want to remind you, go to freecircle.website. There's a little link up at the top. You got to copy and paste it into your browser. And take that little survey for us. please, if you will. And, you know, I want to thank PodTrack for providing that service. If you have a podcast, you need PodTrack. It's a great idea. It keeps a real count on things for you. And the podcast industry is changing. Google Podcast, look out, they're coming up hot and heavy. Spotify's getting in the game. So anyway, yeah, enjoy your Sunday, folks. Well, that's it for another Free Circle Fireside. Thank you for joining us. You can find us on the web at freecircle.website. You can join in on the live shows or leave a message and we'll get your voice out over the message. The call-in line is 971-533-7805. Join Free Circle, get your voice out, and thank you for joining the fireside. Ed, Free Circle, out.